Hey, what's going on? All right, so this video is going to be on taking a emergency medical technician exam. Okay, the exam. So this is exam day. So what happens? Anxiety, exam. You start thinking a whole bunch of stuff, right? Trust me, I've been there a number of times. So in the case of this happening, I'm going to leave with you a few tips on how to take an exam on exam day. Whether it's a quiz, an exam, a final, a midterm, or the New York State exam or the National Registry exam. So it all goes based on the same techniques. All right. So let's start off. So starting off really is these exams are multiple choice. All right. I've never seen a essay where you have to write out. No, it's usually multiple choice when it comes to these first responders, whether CFR or EMR, EMT, paramedic, or CC, or advanced EMT. Like any of those exams, usually most 99.9% it's multiple choice. So while it's multiple choice, now we have to select the answers. So let's go back. Now, the first thing is you have to say, okay, what type of exam I'm taking? Is it 20 questions? Is it 50 questions? Is it 100? Believe it or not, there are 200 plus questions, right? So these are types of exams you have to find out. Then look at the time management, because timing is very important. If you're too slow, if you're taking too long, you're going to run out of time. And wherever you are, they're not going to give you that time to fill in those answers. So that's one thing. First, get the strategic plan. How many questions? How much time do we have? And start to time yourself. Now, that's one. Let's go into the questions. So let me go back. So these multiple choice in these questions, all right, there are normally 4 answers: A, B, C, or D. Those are the selections of the answers. All right, that's where you're going to choose from. Some other types of exam will be 5. It'll be A, B, C, D, and E. But for the most part, it's going to be multiple choice. So that's what you're going to be working with. So now so we established that. Now we're going to go right into the question itself. So now we have to read the question. Okay, so read what's in front of you. Read what's in front of you. Don't add anything to this question. Don't put anything or take anything away. Read for what's in front of you. Don't speed read it, but read the whole thing. Even though you might think you know the answer, you might don't, because there can be some keywords. I'll say it again, keywords where there's certain fonts in the question in the answer, but there's a word that has big bold prints. Okay, big bold prints. That's when you be like, oh, okay. That's telling you, hello, that's you read me, and this is going to kind of help you. This will help you in answering this test. And what are some of those bold words? Here it is. What is it? Except, most, the least. You know, those are key words. So when you're reading and scanning and reading through the test, you're reading it, but you're identifying keywords. Okay, keywords. That the actual fonts or the bold print would just shoot out in front of you. So don't overlook it. Don't say, oh, there's nothing. It's telling you a big clue. So keep that in mind. All right. Now, I do want to say 2 things. Here it is in the question itself. So we got 4 selections. Okay, now 1 answer, but 4 selections. Make that clear. But there are types of questions they give you. So the first type is called knowledge base. Knowledge base. So what does that really mean? Well, knowledge base means how many chambers in the heart? 4. General knowledge. General knowledge. That's one type of question. The other type of question is called critical thinking. Critical thinking. What does that mean? Well, here it is. It's usually a scenario-based question. Upon arrival at the scene, you meet with a 23-year-old male complaining of, you found him in, times how many days, he's demonstrating cyanosis or this and that, and it gives you these clues. So now they're going to say, well, what would be the next thing you're going to do? Okay. Now, one of the biggest things I've noticed is as I'm reading these types of scenarios, I will kind of circle, if you're able to take a test with paper, some are more electronics, but I note 30 years old, has a history of such and such, complaining of such and such. So I'm highlighting those things and putting all of those pieces together. Okay? Here, I'll give you one. So 33-year-old male, you hear stridor, patient has hives, and it's, scratching the arm and having shortness of breath. So I kind of gave you piece by piece by piece. So now the question is, what's wrong with this patient? And I want you to answer that. What's wrong with the patient? Good. So you're answering that question. All right, anaphylaxis. So that's an example. So look at, when you're reading it, just look at those keywords and put the story together and fix the patient. What's another one? All right, so we did that. Now, how long do we take to read this question? So to read the question, it should take you about a minute or a minute and a half. No more than 2, no more than 3 or 4 or more. That's too long. You're taking too much of a long time to read that one question. So about a minute and a half, 2 minutes about. And if you don't know the answer or you can't figure it out, skip it. But please take note of it. Please take note of that question. All right, so we got that. We got the question, the type of questions, and here it is. Now you have to select the choices. Multiple choice, typically, have I seen over the years, there's usually 4 selections. All right, A, B, C, or D. Now you have to do the process of elimination. Let's say A doesn't make no sense whatsoever. I've even never heard of this before. Cross it out. I don't even want to look at it again. Then you go to the next selection, and then it looks like the answer. I'll save it, then move on to C, and then move on to D. Make sure you read all the answers. I know people who have read, and I've done it a few times earlier, and I'll just read A, and that's it. I know it's it. And then when you when you do a review later on, some places you can let you do reviews as a class, and you're like, oh, I read it too. I didn't see that. So again, you're not in a rush to get out, because leaving early, finishing early of this exam, you're not getting any brownie points or any points or extra points to doing that. All right, we all got the same time, and we're all going to take the same test. So manage your time. Okay, manage your time. What else? So again, selection. Usually 2 of them doesn't make any sense. The other 2 kind of make sense, but choose the best answer. Choose the best answer. Okay. All right, so that's that. So we did that. And, oh, this is a big one. I've seen students where they second guess themselves. They just second guess themselves so much that they start changing their answer. They start changing their answer. I've seen this over and over again where students, they take the test. They're like, wait a minute, you know what? Maybe it's this, maybe it's that. And then they originally they chose the right answer, but they second guessed themselves. They crossed off that answer and put another answer, and that answer, the second one, is wrong or incorrect. So their first choice was correct, but they second guessed themselves. Listen, don't second guess yourself. Don't. Just do the best you can do. Don't erase it. Trust me. Don't erase that first answer, because most likely that answer is correct. So once you got that out of the way, all right, we talked about the multiple choice. We talked about the time management. We talked about the process of elimination. And what if you don't know the answer, period? You're like, man, maybe I was dozing off in class. Maybe I went to the bathroom. Maybe I missed that out. Whatever the case, I don't know what this is. Do not leave it answer blank. that's a minus in your score. So your best bet is go 50-50. You're going to choose whatever it is and guess. All right, but do not leave it blank. That's a point off. All right, and that's pretty much it. I mean, thinking of the common mistakes or the common things or tips, I can help you along the way. So when you enter in there, follow the instructions, whatever the scantrons are, or wherever you need to click. Make sure you get those clears information. If they have any questions, or they ask you if they have any questions, raise your hand, because remember, you're taking the test. So again, anxiety, I said before, exams, quizzes, final, midterms, those are words that make your heart race. Whenever this situation does arise, you want to take a nice deep breath and reset your mind. Okay? Reset your mind. And as you do that, everything kind of goes back into place. Now, another term, or another phrase, I should say, I say it all the time in the classroom, is when you look at a program, or you're doing paramedic school or EMT school or whatever it is, a big exam of 100, 200, 300, 400 questions. I'm exaggerating, but the saying is this, and I'm not promoting it, and this is what it says. How do you eat an elephant? And the answer is take small bites. So take small bites as you're going through this course. I made it through this session, made it through that session. I'll talk about that more in detail with the course itself. But when you're taking a huge exam, one question at a time. Don't be so overwhelmed of 20, 30, 50, 100 questions, 200 questions. Just go pace yourself one question at a time. And if you need a break, to kind of move around, that's cool. Some places will accept, little snacks, not a full bar or a full entree, just little snacks sometimes is allowed, and as well as something to drink as well. So don't go in there with a full stomach, going for the full course and then take an exam, because again, all that blood rushes to the stomach to digest. So just keep that in mind. All right, so now I hope that these tips were able to be very helpful for you, and that they will be able to benefit you in your exams, tests, quizzes, midterms, New York State, regional, national registry, whatever it is that you're going to take. Because again, this is not just one local area. This is nationwide, worldwide principles. So I hope this helped you, and hit a like, subscribe, as well as share this here. And if you have any other things you want me to teach or give you some tips on doing, hey, I'm here to help. All right, so have a great one, and good luck on that test, and rock it out. All right, you're number one. All right, you're doing this for a great cause, and all right, take care.